Good afternoon. My name is Representative Russell Black. I represent District 114, which is Wilton and southern part of Franklin County. I was asked to comment about my experience as a farmer and maple syrup producer and what changes I have seen and how they have affected me. I have been farming for 50 years, and if you do the math, I was very young when I started. I am the third generation farmer on that land, the same land, working with and against the weather to make a living and improve my farm. In the 60s and 70s, we planned on tapping our trees in the middle of March. Now we start tapping in the middle of February or earlier. It is common to have good runs in February. It is common knowledge within the maple industry that the start dates have been moved back into the winter. These start dates vary from southern and northern Maine by about a month. We cannot plan on long periods of cold nights and warm days that we need for good sap runs anymore. We tend to have long periods of either too cold or too warm weather to allow our saps to run. And as we all know, it's pretty cold out there and we don't have the warm nights to run. And it happened last year, but it has been just the opposite. We have been moving further and further back into the winter to harvest our maple syrup. In harvesting my hay for my cattle, my beef cattle, we have seen the month of June become extremely wet. We now have to wrap our hay as baleage because of the wet ground and the lack of dry days in a row to produce dry hay. We still produce dry hay throughout the summer, but the window of opportunities seem to be getting less and less. When I started haying, we could count on extended dry periods, followed by a couple days of seasonal rain. In my town, Wilton, Maine, in the last 10 years, we have had 4 years of over 60 inches of rain. The average rain for the state of Maine is 43 to 44 inches. We've had 4 years in the last 10 years over 60 inches of rain. I also own a large woodlot that I harvest and produce wood products from. Over the years, I've built miles of wood roads and access roads. We have found that the culverts and the water bars that have been sized right and designed right by NRCS and other agencies are no longer capable of handling the large, severe, sudden downpours that we have. This can ruin, when those water bars and culverts wash out, this can ruin hundreds and hundreds of feet of wood roads. And the mud and silt will go into our stream. The water temperature in the pond that borders my farm has now started rising into the 80s on certain days in the summer during hot spells. In conclusion, the changes in weather patterns are greatly affecting the way I farm. There seems to be less predictability in the weather. Thank you, and thank you, Senator Collins, for all you do.